Today we're going to be taking a look at some of the best new features coming to the iPad in iPadOS 17 this fall. In iPadOS 17, we're finally getting customizable lock screens that we've seen in iOS 16 on the iPhones last year. They're finally coming to the iPad and they look really nice. The astronomy wallpaper has been my favorite wallpaper since iOS 16, and on the iPad it just looks even better because of the bigger screen, and all the planets are still available. You still have customizable other lock screens as well, like the kaleidoscope that's available in iOS 17 is also available in iPadOS 17, plus all the other customizable lock screens that you've seen in iOS 16 is now available on the iPad. With the addition of customizable lock screen, we're finally getting widgets on the lock screen with iPadOS 17. On the iPhone we were limited to like around 2, 3, 4 maybe widgets on the lock screen, but with the iPad, since it has a bigger display, you can actually display a lot more and it looks a lot cleaner, and you can see all of this information at a glance straight from the lock screen, and you can customize it. There's a lot of iOS widgets, but there's going to be a lot more coming from third party with the final release of iPadOS 17. Interactive widgets is finally coming to iPad in iPadOS 17, and this is a much needed feature. I don't know about you guys, but I've been using a lot of widgets on my iPad compared to applications, and now that you can interact with these widgets, it just makes the widgets a lot more useful. I mentioned this in the iOS 17 video, but HomeKit finally supports widgets, and on the iPad it looks really nice and you can control all of this straight from the display. I only wish the widget was a little bit bigger on the iPad because I know the iPhone's limiting, but if they had a larger widget you can actually control 16 if they decide to do that. But right now with the home application you only get the medium sized one, which is still a really good update, and you can control all of your HomeKit devices straight from that widget. There's going to be a lot more third-party widgets coming out as well, but for now most of the Apple applications support these widgets and they work very well. Apple is finally bringing the health application to the iPad, so you can see all your health information that you would see on your iOS devices on iPadOS, and it looks really nice on the big display. It shows you a lot more information than your iPhone can, and it just looks really nice and very simple to use. The only thing is, I don't know why, but they don't support the Apple Watch yet, so you can't connect your Apple Watch to your iPad. You still need an iPhone for your Apple Watch to work. Maybe in a later update they might bring that update as well. In iPadOS 17 it's a lot easier to use PDFs on your iPad now, so if you download a PDF you can actually start working on it right away. You don't have to transfer it to a third-party application. It also brings it to the Notes application, so if you want to use a PDF in Notes you can also do that now. I can see this being very useful as a student because I deal with a lot of documents, downloading assignments and stuff like that, and I can just work on it right away instead of having to transfer it to a different application. And it's also worth noting that the Notes application is also integrated with PDFs, so if you were to download a PDF into your Notes you can also work on it right from the Notes application. And finally, Apple's introducing new drawing tools into iPadOS 17, so you can get a calligraphy pen, a highlighter, as well as a watercolor brush. I'm personally not an artist myself, so I don't really use the pencil for drawing or anything like that, but if you are using Procreate and you want to have more tools available to you, in iPadOS 17 you can find these new drawing tools available and you can take advantage of that. Overall, I gotta say the update for the iPad with iPadOS 17 is very mid. There is not a lot of updates, it's very minimal, doesn't do any drastic changes, there's nothing to really look forward to, but I feel like a lot of the features that are available in iPadOS 17 should have been there since like iPadOS 16, but they're just adding it now. And there you have it. That's pretty much it for this video. If you guys did like this video, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.